Hey guys, welcome back to How to Rips Lesson of the Week. In today's episode, we're going to have a look at one of my friend's surfing technique because recently he made 2 massive changes and it's made a very positive difference in his surfing. So we're going to analyze them today, discuss what they are and how you too can put them into your surfing. If you're interested in the wetsuits that we wear, the boards that we ride, and cross-training equipment that we use, you can see all of that in the video description below. And if you mention How to Rip, you'll get special access to discounts and even free stuff. So check that out, subscribe to the channel now, but let's get into the video. This is my friend Jared. Jared declined to be interviewed for this, but we surfed together quite a lot, and recently we had a session and it was really obvious to me that Jared's surfing had come a long way. We both got a lot of waves this day and had a great time. But I want to focus on Jared's surfing, and one thing I really like about Jared's surfing is how he surfs with so much commitment. He goes on any wave and he commits 100% to any turn that he does, and I think this attributes a lot to why he surfs so well and he's been improving quickly. One thing I love is Jared's salmon dive, as you can see here. Now the reason why Jared falls like this with his arms by his side is because he has a shoulder injury. So while I find Jared's salmon dives quite hilarious and funny to watch when we're out in the water, we definitely don't recommend that you fall this way. Okay, just a quick side note, you put yourself at a huge risk of spinal injury should you then headbutt the sand or the reef or whatever's actually below you. So while it's funny to look at, definitely don't do it. So what we do recommend is that you fall like this. As you can see here, as I know I'm about to go down, I'm going to try and land on the surface of the wave pretty flat. So let's have a look at how Jared went from doing turns like this to turns like this. So let's discuss the first key point that Jared worked on to change his surfing. So I'm going to start with some examples of Jared performing turns with incorrect technique. And then we're going to compare that to what he's doing now, which is correct technique, and you'll be able to see the big difference. So as you can see here, Jared's setting up to go for a top turn. Now, in fairness, there was a bump in this wave which made it very tricky to negotiate. But notice how Jared's looking and his front arm are forward. So he was looking down the line and his arm was forward, and this contributed to no torque being translated into the rail. Let's have a look at this turn here and you'll see the same thing again. As he drives out of his bottom turn, even though he's open at this stage, that front arm comes forward and he's still looking down the line. This throws him off balance and doesn't allow for the rail to really dig into the wave. Now let's look at a better example. See here how Jared opens up his shoulders. His leading arm is going back and he's looking down to the bottom of the wave. Consequently, he performs a better turn with more spray, more rail in the water. Notice again how he transitions into the next move, doing the same thing. So the front arm is opening up, so it's pointing back towards the foam, which allows his chest to open up. And by looking down to the bottom of the wave, this also helps. See again here how by looking to the bottom of the wave made a huge difference. So the takeaway message here is to open up your shoulders by looking and pointing back to the foam. By doing this, you open up your shoulders, you create more torque, which goes down to your feet, puts more rail in the water, which creates a better turn, more powerful, more speed, and more spray. So now that we understand how to look, how to point, and how to rotate, and how all of those work together to make your surfing better, we're going to have a look at key point number 2. Key point number 2 is where you perform your maneuvers, the section that you perform your maneuvers on. So let's have a look at this in greater detail. So to start with, we're going to have a look at the criticalness of the section that you choose. Notice here how this was a white, fluffy section that wasn't overly critical. Now, while it wasn't a bad turn, the section just wasn't that critical. But notice here how Jared starts performing his turns on steeper sections of the wave. Notice how that was a lot bowlier. That turn was more critical, and consequently, it looks a lot better, and it also feels a lot better for the surfer. So aim for critical sections for more critical turns. Next, we look at where you perform your turn. See here how Jared starts the turn at the bottom of the wave. Now, while his technique wasn't bad going into this turn, the problem was that it was at the bottom of the wave, where there's no speed and there's no power. But compare that to this turn, where he was in a bowlier section close to the power source, and it created much more spray. In this example, we see the same thing, close to the power source, and the turn through buckets of spray, and the turn actually happened a lot quicker, which made it look much better. So while that first turn was fantastic, you can see here how he went to set up again, but there was no section. The wave was really fat, and because of that, he bogged a rail and fell off. That wasn't his fault, but it's a good point to see that when a wave's fat, it's harder to turn. Compared to this section, once again, where he was close to the pocket, it was a steeper section, and it allowed him to throw spray and perform a nice turn. So to conclude, you want to perform your maneuvers high on a wave and close to the power source. So guys, I hope that now you understand how these 2 key points can make a huge difference to your own surfing. And and I hope that you start to incorporate them and work on them. And honestly, it didn't take that long for Jared's progress to go straight up like this. It was amazing to see how quickly it all happened. And he was stoked, that made me stoked, and everyone was stoked. So it's great. Make sure that you keep us up to date with your own progress, because we're interested to know. If you've got any footage or photos, please send them through. We'd love to see. And any questions, hit the comments. Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Let us know what else you want to see. We'll catch you soon. Something like this one.
On the wave, then looking